Purpose. I tell people all the time that you were created on purpose for a purpose. You know, it might have surprised your parents that you showed up here, but you were no surprise to God. He already had your life in his heart. So take some time today, spend some time with your Father. Make sure you seek him for what your purpose is. And I promise you that the thing you're looking for in the universe is already inside of you. The gift of life and purpose, God has already put inside of you. And let me tell you, the best days that you live in your life will be those days where, number one, you're in God's will. Number two, living your purpose that he put you here for. You guys, you're back live on the air with Regina Sunshine and my guest co-host Candy Martin, Aria Willis, and Isna Tiante here on the Regina Sunshine Show. And this is our Man Crush Monday, getting to know the men behind our social media crushes. And our first guest is here, and we are so excited. He said we just wanted him for his food, but trust me, it's more than that. Welcome to the show, Chef Willie Wallace.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's so good to have you here. I've been following you for a number of years.
Are we looking here? Or are we looking like? Can I look
there's
at you?
the camera. You can look back and forth. You can look around.
Right,
Yeah.
cool.
And you always, you post more pictures of your food than you do of you. But then when you do get the chance to see how beautiful you are, it's always
so much.
a treat. Ladies, is it not good to have him here?
Oh, yeah.
So we have to let him know it wasn't just about the food. It was not just about the food.
The chocolate and the food.
The chocolate and the food?
The chocolate and the food.
Now see.
The pressure going first.
All right, so Jack, I need you just to get that box and have it, just in case. And for my audience, this is the Regina Sunshine Show. I know we do all positivity and everything, but we do want to have the parental advisory box ready just in case.
Uh-oh.
So we do have a lot of stay-at-home mamas and their babies that watch my show, just in case.
Oh, Lord.
We have a moment here on the Regina Sunshine Show. But all right, Chef Wallace, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. I used to play basketball overseas, so I used to play professional sports. And worked in the corporate world, got tired of working for people, and I decided to start my own business. And I've always had a passion for cooking, a love for entertaining people of such, and I turned it into a career, really.
That's a beautiful thing. It's always a great thing when you can marry something you love with a way to create income. So how different has life been since you've been able to marry those two?
The freedom, first of all, not having to have somebody tell me when and what time to go to the bathroom and things like that, being able to create my own schedule. It is a thing where as an entrepreneur, it's a 24-hour job. Like, I'm always doing business, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, go ahead and feed my folks.
Well, you did bring something for us to sample. Yes, thank you. And we'll wait for Isna. We're not gonna do that to her.
Yeah.
We'll give her a minute.
No getting none on my back.
Go put that on the bed. So try to
Again.
wipe that off too.
No, but it's been a beautiful thing, just to be able to control, my income and things have been on the upside. And so it's one thing I just don't stop working, because if I don't work, I don't eat. So it's a beautiful thing.
That's entrepreneur life. You don't work, you don't eat.
If I take a day off, I better be able to make it up the next day or make it up the day before.
So in terms of your chef's business, what do you specialize? Do you have a certain specialty area?
Well, now I've been vegan myself full time for about 6 months now. I started that journey about 3 years ago, so I don't want people to think that I just became vegan overnight. So I was back and forth for the last 3 years and decided to go full time 5 months ago. I'm sorry, 6 months ago. And that's one of the things that I specialize in, is making vegan food. Well, I don't want people to think that vegan food has to taste a certain way. And I try to take dishes that people are used to eating as far as with meat and things like that, and I try to do the same thing. Make it taste just as similar as it does without the meat. So.
Awesome, ladies.
That's
Are you ready? Are y'all ready to eat? Okay, well, tell us what you have prepared.
I did a quick veggie on veggie pasta. So the pasta itself is veggies made out of kale, greens, what else? Asparagus. There's a bunch of different veggies within the pasta itself. And then inside I did shiitake mushrooms, green and red peppers, onions, and asparagus.
All right. Well, I have to say this. Thank you, Lord, for this food. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. All right. All right.
So
Candy.
I did like a curry seasoning with the special vegan sauce in it. So hopefully y'all like it.
I know you had a question, Candy. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so your reasoning for going vegan was just,
The reason for me going vegan was, okay, so I got to a point where I was trying to lose some weight, and I was working out like crazy, and I didn't see the scale moving at all. And I was also feeling full all the time, just feeling real lethargic and lazy, and I was like, I need to make a change. And then the day I watched the documentary What the Health, which kind of went viral, I had bacon that morning. I started feeling like nauseous, and I'm like, what is going on? So we watched that documentary that day, and I hadn't had it since. I cut it cold turkey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And ever since I did, man, I feel so much better. I have so much more energy, focus. And I know a lot of people, they do a fast, like they do the Daniel's fast. They'll do it, and they say that, okay, I want to see my blessing within the 21 days. But like, I've decided to make a lifetime sacrifice, and God has opened up so many doors. It's been ridiculous since I gave that up.
Yeah, we tried the Daniel fast at work. Needless to say, your girl didn't make it a week. I needed some chicken. I don't care. It didn't have to be fried. Bake it. I needed some chicken. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out.
No, I mean, it's a process, though. Like I said, it didn't happen for me overnight. It was a thing that, trial and error over the last 3 years finally brought me to this point.
Yeah, one of the things that with the vegan diet that I'm trying to figure out is the protein, because it's something that I have to.
It's so much protein in that. It's
right.
protein in veggies.
So that's the reason why I really wanted to try to go sort of, kind of. I still gotta have my chicken.
and the thing is that don't get it misconstrued. Like, a lot of people, because of what we've been taught over the years, like they tell us that meat is a protein. They call meat a protein,
exactly.
But it's protein in everything, all the way down to rice. It's a very small amount, but it's protein in it. But we just have to, like, have you ever seen anybody go to the hospital for a protein deficiency?
Right.
There's no such thing as that we need this or whatever. So I know a lot of people do it, that's in the weightlifting and things like that. They need a certain amount, per their diet and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're going to get your protein from the most healthiest source you can get them from. Where do you think animals get their protein from?
So that's why I started looking into it, and then that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have the show, the vegan Thanksgiving, because what do we eat if we go vegan for Thanksgiving? And so with everything that I do, I like going and finding the information and making sure that we're completely, we got all the knowledge.
And there's so many different, like for the cream sauce that I made from that, I use a coconut creamer and vegan butter.
Okay.
So
what is
no
vegan
dairy.
butter?
So it is a soy-based butter. No, they have some that are soy-based, some that are not soy-based. But I don't know all the actual ingredients in it, but it's a lot better than eating stuff with dairy in it. So
yeah. I had a question. As far as soy, there's the verdict is quite not out on how soy affects us, and especially our men. Could you touch on that?
Well, from what I know, and I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but just from what I've been taught a little bit, is soy does cause cancer. It's something that you don't want to have an access to, and it does cause. It does say they cause men to have boobs. You know what I'm saying?
It has estrogen in it, right?
Yeah, because it has estrogen in it, and you know what I'm saying. And the more estrogen that a male has, that's not good for us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got to be careful with the intake of soy. So I try to stay away from it as much as possible myself.
This
But
is
that's
actually really good.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. So another thing too is like we have to be careful with when people live in a vegan lifestyle. You should consider yourself more on a plant-based lifestyle because they make a lot of products to appease people that want to go vegan that are in that transition. But a lot of that stuff has soy in it, and a lot of stuff is processed as well, so it's not that great. So.
Well, since you are here on a Man Crush Beard Monday, how has this beard lifestyle been for you?
Very convenient. I wake up, I pick it out a little bit, and I go. moisturize it, and I'm good to go.
Well, I know Isna has some beard-specific questions, so I'm going to let her ask her
Lord.
beard-specific questions.
Do we have to
she
put the
keep putting
parental
stuff-
advisory thing back up?
It's for her.
Is there something on my back?
Gonna put something else on it in a minute.
What you got for me?
I did have some questions because I did think it was a beard man crush Monday because everybody had beard. But one of my questions were, does having a beard, how does it benefit you now that there's this craze for it? And did you, I know this two-part question, did you grow your beard prior to this craze or after?
So,
That's a good question.
as far as growing my hair this long, I've never done it before. I started mine probably a little over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. But I've always kept a goatee. And if I do grow my beard, I'll grow it out just a little bit and just have like that after 5 o'clock shadow or whatever. Or I'll let it grow a little bit thick, but then I was like, I got to cut it. But one day I was just like, you know what, I'm going to just see how long this thing goes. This is before it did go kind of crazy. And it was the best thing ever because, like I said, I can just get up and go and not have to shave all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, because with a goatee, I got to shave every 2 days to keep it clean. So, but it's so convenient, and I mean, I love it.
So when you cooking, you put a net on that beard?
No,
I don't want no hair on
but I don't shed. I ain't heard not one time. I've heard one time that you got beard hair in my food. I don't think too many people, too many women might not even complain. You got beard hair in my food.
Is it like that? Well, she got the beard in the food when she wiped it.
She put the hair back in my beard.
Oh gosh.
Well, do you find more women approach you and comment on your beard?
I do get that a lot. I had an Uber driver literally ask, can she touch my beard one time? Yeah.
Did you
So
let
after she touched my beard.
Oh, after.
Did you let her?
After.
Got a free ride.
No, they took that straight out my account. But she gave me a tip. No, I mean it's cool though. I mean, you do get a lot of I do get a lot of compliments a lot, so it's appreciative.
The interesting thing is, up until probably a year ago, I really wasn't into beards, and then somebody, not that beard group everybody's in, it's a black men's bearded group. Yes. Somebody added me to, and I was like, and everything, and I started noticing. So I'm the one that will stop a guy and say, "Can I take a picture of you and your beard?" And so I think they're beautiful. I do. What, Jack? What you got to say?
I think, but I'm gonna tell you honestly what I think it is right now. I think that it really is a paradigm shift going on in the universe, and I'm speaking on a whole different level now. I think that we as black men and black women, we were understanding that we're kings and queens, and that's what when we look at a man with a beard, it's like, that's my king.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we're we look like superheroes, kind of like a thing.
I love that.
More so than that, I will even go further to say that it is also like a shift in saying, like in the military, you can't grow hair.
Mm-hmm.
Certain jobs will tell you have to be clean shaven, and to me, this is almost like a rebellion.
True.
In a sense, not rebellion that you just like, I'm being rebellious, but I wouldn't expect you to be in the military because I know they do not allow men to have hair on their faces. I wouldn't really expect you to be in somewhat like corporate America, certain types of jobs because. So this lets me know that as well kept as it is, you taking care of your business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. Anything else, Aria?
Well, it's not about the beard, it's about the food again.
Oh, you're talking about the food. Good.
I mean, the beard is
Glad
great
it's good.
too, you know?
Are y'all uncomfortable? Are y'all uncomfortable about the beard talk? I see y'all's faces. And I'm talking about the beard. The beard talk. The beard talk.
They beard ain't right there.
Go ahead, Aria.
I mean, the beard, is like eye candy, but, the food is soul food too. So I gotta have a little bit of both. But no, me and my daughter, we watched What the Health like a few weeks ago, and my doctor had already talked about it, like me removing dairy products from my diet. because I have hypothyroidism and it's actually really bad. I had no idea
Well,
that dairy was so bad.
Yeah.
So we went vegan. I was like, okay, finally, after I watched What the Health, I was like, we just start throwing out everything. But I find it hard because, like, you know, I have a kid, so she likes mac and cheese and things like that. So, like, what would you use to kind of make like that homemade baked macaroni and cheese?
Well, I mean, I've made some before, but you know, diet cheese is a real popular vegan cheese. I'm not a big fan of it because it's very overpowering in flavor. So there's like cashew cheese that you can get and make. Whole Foods has a lot of that stuff. 7-9 does as well. And then, like I said, you can replace it with like the coconut cream and things like that. And the vegan butter as well. But I'm still trying to put that together as far as like the right recipe, because like I said, I made it with diet cheese before and I'm just not a big fan of it. But I try to stay away from mac and cheese, period.
So what is like your main vegan dish for like Thanksgiving coming up?
Let me see. I mean, yams are always a good, thing. Like you can replace that easy with vegan butter. And that's like the main thing that's put in yams. A lot of all the sides, of course, you can replace anything in it. Like I don't put meat in my greens. There's some seasonings that you can put in there. There's some different bases that you can use for flavor and things like that to bring out the flavor. So I would say just pretty much all the sides, but just substituting some of those main key ingredients with dairy-free products.
Okay.
Awesome. Oh, we were talking about fasting earlier. I found out from fasting a couple years ago that wheat don't like me and neither does dairy.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you can hear me going, I had cheesecake last night. Can y'all tell? It tells on me so fast. It happens so quickly now. When you don't have it for a long time. And so I just want to apologize to the audience. That's why I keep doing this over here. It's my fault. My son always said you can't blame nobody if you did it to yourself.
Yeah.
So Chef
It's
Wallace,
crazy too, because like we'll just for that temporary satisfaction of whatever that thing may taste like, we know the after effects is how it's gonna make me feel, and we do it anyway. So you'll get to the point in life where you be like, I'm tired of feeling like this, so I'm gonna give it up.
Yeah.
Like I had to give up gluten. Like I'm on gluten-free vegan.
Yeah, and
It's
there's so
like
many
that
different
kind of
gluten-free
food, though,
options out there
sometimes.
too.
Well, Chef, please tell our audience how they can follow you on social media, how they can contact you if they want to book you.
You can follow me on Instagram, Chef Willie Wallace. You can also find me on Facebook under Willie Jamal Wallace, Chef in parentheses. Shout out to Black Vegan Social. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this group. It's a group that's connected all throughout the United States, and I'm the president of the Atlanta chapter here. So we're looking for people that are looking to transition to that vegan or already vegan or vegetarian type lifestyle. But it's a great way to network with other Black vegans that are here in Atlanta. So what else you can find? I'm not really on Twitter, but you can email me at chefwilliewallace@gmail.com as well.
Awesome. All right, you guys, you're back live with Regina Sunshine and my guest co-host, Candy Martin, Aria Willis, and Isna Tiante here on the Regina Sunshine Show. This is our Man Crush Monday, getting to know our social media crushes day. You all right?
One big.
I was trying to put the water down.
And our next guest that is live here with us, who I've gotten so many comments about the image of him that I had on my Facebook page. Welcome to the show, Black Steel. How you doing, brother?
Thank you.
Jack, find that. There's a picture where the dude's like looking off to the side, and he looks like a piece of candy.
Yes.
I mean, for real. Candy approved.
Candy approved.
Like, yeah.
I want to see this picture, Regina.
Why
I
he's
gotta see it? I
you
gotta
see
see
this
it.
picture? You'll see once.
Is it the one
and
that
while
was on
he's
the
looking
flyer?
for that, yeah, and look on my Instagram. That's probably the one that you
I saw
can
that
find it
flyer
fast on
picture.
Instagram.
I
All
don't
right,
know what she's
tell
talking
everybody
about.
who you are
I don't know
and
what
what
she's
you
talking
do.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Was that it? Yes.
Can I- I don't
Yeah,
think you can hear me.
that's him. Woo.
Yeah.
All right, so tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
they can hear you out
Oh,
there.
okay. How y'all doing? My name is Black Steel, BlackSteele, and basically I'm a man. I'm a jack of many trades. I'm a model. I'm a fitness trainer, and I want to be a motivational speaker. I'm a father. I'm a son of God. I'm a lot of things. So,
I love all of those things.
Yes.
Y'all like all of those things?
I'm a beautiful.
I mean, that's not self-proclaimed. I mean, that's what,
We saying it for you.
Right.
I appreciate it, ladies. I appreciate it.
Well, one of the things we want to do in this show is, so often, especially with the beard craze, women go on your page and they're so caught up in the physical appearance that they don't really know anything about the men who are behind those images. So, if you look at the different, you say you're a jack of many trades. What are some of the things you're really passionate about?
There's a lot of things I like to do. I'm very extroverted, very outgoing, adventurous, risk-taking. So I enjoy things like whitewater rafting, like very things that people would call dangerous. So like whitewater rafting, I want to skydive. I've never skydived, but I want to do that. Zip lining, hiking, jet skiing, snowboarding, sledding, all that. Like I like doing things outside and adventurous things. I like things that are kind of exhilarating. I know one of my things on my bucket list is to go to Vegas and go to the Stratosphere. I think it's the Stratosphere.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that, where they actually have the rise that's off of the actual building, one of the tallest buildings in Vegas. That's what I want to do. It's things that just get my heart racing because you got to live life,
Yes.
I feel like so many people are just, so many people are just like stagnated in where they are. Like, hey, I'm taking care of my family. I'm doing this. There's no reason to, like I live in Jacksonville, and a lot of people from a city where I live at, they say there's nothing to do. And I never get that comment. I never get that because I'm like, there's plenty of things to do. You just got to go and do them.
Yes.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. But yeah, I like to do a lot of things. I love playing cards. People that know me know I love playing cards. I'm very passionate with cards. Y'all want to play spades, I would kick that butt.
Wow.
So, it's just a lot of things I like doing. Like I said, I love doing a lot. It's not really a lot of things that I don't enjoy doing. So, yeah.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned playing cards. I don't normally play cards with people that don't really know me that well because they don't understand that we might not be friends after this.
Exactly.
We might can't talk for a while, if it don't go down right. I'm serious.
It gets serious.
I'm very competitive.
Wow.
I expect to win at whatever I do. So, if me and you are partners and it don't go well, then we can't, Brandy. Candy. See, I did it again.
Did it again.
I did it again. I love you, but we might not be able to talk
It's all good.
afterwards.
That's why I don't play
No, but
cards.
everybody be talking because you
That's
keep calling
why I
her
don't
Brandy.
play cards.
I know.
Yeah.
She's like,
Where are you
See,
getting that from?
she's like, forget the
The
cards.
cards is just like talking about the Bible to me. You know what I'm saying? Don't do neither one of them, because that way me and you can still be cool.
Right.
I ain't got to fight and fuss with you about none of that.
Especially when we playing Go Fish.
Oh, wow.
Nah, because if
Not
we
the gold
playing spades
I
and
don't
I
know,
stand
Uno.
up and
That's
start
it.
throwing
That's
it.
cards
Get my
down
note.
on you, you're gonna be pissed. So hey, what we gonna do is we gonna agree
To disagree.
to disagree, and I'm not playing with you.
But see,
Real good.
But that's
That's
my
the easiest
thing
way.
right there. So see, this is how I figure out if somebody knows how to play cards. Okay, so if I ask, say we about to play cards, and I say, you know how to play spades? If the first words out of your mouth is, nah, bro.
Then that's just like,
We can't play.
Nah,
We good. We good. I mean, if you sit there and be like, I know how to follow. Nah, I'm good. Like, I want somebody straight confidently. Yeah, I know how to play.
Yeah,
Cool.
exactly.
Let's
Like,
work
let's
it.
go.
Because as you said, Regina, it's more. See, playing spades to me, because I don't play spades. I'm a spades player. I went to Spadeology University. I went to Spadeology University,
me
so
on
it's
that.
like it's more than following suit. You got to know when to play what. You got to know why your partner played this. You got to know, okay, that
Don't
person
cut
played
your
that.
partner.
They may be out. If this person is cutting, I'm not gonna go right back to them because they are my opponents. All that
right.
stuff, So it's just,
There's a
Don't
strategy.
cut your partner.
Exactly. It's fundamentals. It's not just following suit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you can sit there and say, hey, well, she played a club. I didn't have a club, so I just.
Put a spade down.
like, come on, man. Yeah, all that, man. It's just, so I feel you. I'm glad somebody else feels me. 'Cause if people say I take it too seriously, I'm like, it's only the people that suck that say that. It's the people that don't know how to
I
play
don't know how to play.
that say, oh, man, it's just a
Hallelujah.
game. It's just a
Somebody
game.
understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, yeah, all that.
So you mentioned wanting to be a motivational speaker. What has inspired you to move in that direction?
Let me see. Actually, there's a lot of. Let me see which one I can take. Mainly, I've had a tough childhood. Okay, and a lot of people don't know this. A lot of my fans, everybody don't know this, but I've had a tough childhood. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I've been in and out of foster care. I've had a rough life, and so, I feel like especially young black men, I feel like they need that role model, and it's not even so much of just even if they have their father in their life, like they need somebody that's kind of young, that's kind of near age, that's like, hey, somebody that's kind of cool, that is kind of popular. And I say that because, right, that they can relate to, because they don't want somebody who's kind of green or somebody who's like goody two shoes, you know, telling them what to do. They want somebody who's been through some things, so where they say, okay, this guy made it okay. He's doing all right for himself and things like that. And I want to give that motivation to the young black men of America. And I feel like a lot of them lack that. And like I said, I feel like I can just be inspiring and motivating to a lot of people. And it's not even just the young black men. It's just I'm very pro-woman, like a feminist. I love women's rights. I hate when, you know, men make women feel a certain kind of way. Like I was actually on my live earlier talking about this, like, you know, society and urban America and the media makes certain kind of women feel inferior to other women. Just like even the lighter and darker thing,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
and a lot of women feel inferior to other women. A lot of women feel, oh, I got stretch marks, or I'm a little fat, you know, because a guy said that they were fat, or a guy wanted this video vixen who is made up, or this ideal woman who does not exist, or who has fake everything. And that's why I try to preach to women constantly. I love natural. You know, not even what Kendrick Lamar said with stretch marks, but just natural. Like I had a status the other day, I said I love blemishes. You know, don't try to cover up. I understand if you're going on an interview or you're doing something right. You're doing something. I understand you want to look presentable. But I'm like, embrace your scars, you know, embrace your stretch marks, embrace whatever. If you got a little pudge from a child, that child was the best thing that happened to you. That right there is going to make you remember that. So,
You can run around the building.
You know, yeah, so that's why. So like I said, it's not even just young men. It's just a lot of people. And also when it comes to training, motivation goes hand in hand with that. Because a lot of people's motivation is missing. You know, they're deprived of that because somebody maybe looked down upon them or said that they weren't too good. Actually, that's probably why they want to get to this ideal figure anyway. So I want to just motivate everybody, you know. So that's pretty much it.
I love it.
It's pretty good.
Isn't it? I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Regina asked the same question. I was about to say, there's nothing really stopping you because you are a motivational speaker. I heard you say, I want to be. You are. And so using your social media is the venue and the avenue in which you're using.
Right.
And so that is your starting ground. So always know that as you are sharing your story, your testimony, that there are people who are being encouraged by what you're saying, especially like now we sitting over here about to do some flips.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. They say stretch marks are either because you gained weight
Cat
and
Williams.
lost it.
It was Cat Williams.
Oh,
Either say you was big and got small, or you was
Oh,
small and got
yeah,
big.
exactly.
Either way, hey, real men know what's up.
They
Everybody know what's
stopped and
up.
they're
For
like, you
real.
know what? I think you got stretch marks. We're gonna have to do
Hey.
this later.
That's actually, I know y'all might be like, it's actually like, and people know, that's why I say, like, people that know me, they know that I'm not just saying this. Like, I love, like, a woman with a gap between her tooth. That's a blemish. I love that. Women with
I
braces.
got that gap, right?
You know, a woman with braces. Hey. You know, but I mean, with braces, I mean, I like that. I find the beauty. I find the beauty in everything because a lot of that is all about the struggle. You know, and I mean, if you see somebody, you don't want anyone that's just straight up perfect. Like my pastor said one time, he was like, I'd rather be friends with somebody who's been in jail because they know how to get through things, or you know, they know how to when stuff hits the fan, they're not about to just dip. But these people that are perfect artists, goody two shoes and stuff like that, they don't know what's up. Something happens. Oh my God! Like,
Yeah, they
what
freak
do we do?
out. Yeah.
You know, or somebody that's a rider.
Right, but you have a lot of people that, you know, act like they goody two shoes, that's been
Absolutely.
through stuff and don't realize that the struggle that you did go through, somebody can actually benefit from hearing that story. So you need to definitely get out there and tell your story and make sure that everybody hear you, because you don't know who you might touch and what that might do for that person later on.
Exactly.
And when you said it, like a lot of people, I feel like, I don't know why, but that's why I make sure that I tell people, like, as I'm gaining, like, because the last month has been crazy. Like, I've been getting, like, outside of you, Regina, like, I've been having people want me, like, to fly me places, you know, and time they're going to accommodate, pay for everything. I've been wanting people to interview me. I've been wanting photographers reaching out to me, wanting to give me free photo shoots and everything like that. And just exposure's been crazy. And I make sure that I tell everyone, like, nobody is self-made. Like, I don't like when people say they're self-made. And just to piggyback on what you said, you know, people who have been through things act like they haven't. So, you know, they just, I'm like, man, you forgot where you came from.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't care how big I get. It's like my supporters and everybody is the ones that, you know, got me to where I'm at. Oh, we got somebody calling.
I
in?
think we do.
Right.
Callers, are you there?
Yes.
Tell everybody who you are and where you're calling from.
My name is Deidre Nunn, and I'm calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, thank you for calling in, Deidre. Do you have a question or a comment?
I guess the biggest question is, I don't know if it has been brought up earlier, like why relationships are so dysfunctional in the African American community.
Wow. Somebody want to take that? We got a bearded man on the side with a camera that wants a mic. Deidre, I will say this: there are so many different reasons.
Right.
It goes from the man and woman individually and our own individual struggles and the things we've been through that have made us question ourselves and our worth. That plays a lot into how we love and appreciate and treat each other. And if we can get beyond that, we begin to love ourselves individually, then it's easier to love somebody else in a whole and full and healthy way. So I think it first has to go back to self-reflection, working on yourself, and that way, whenever you do meet someone, you're bringing to them a whole person as opposed to a piece person that you're looking for them to fix and hold up and make feel good. Anybody else?
Right. I agree.
I would say, even coming from a historical standpoint, that our relationships in the Black community have suffered because we have not quite healed.
Yes.
And so when you hear the phrase hurt people, we are still a hurting people. And I feel that until we deal with the hurt and the underlying reason as to why we are still in that place, piggybacking off of what Regina said, if you're still hurt and you haven't learned to love yourself, it is so hard. That's the first thing you have to do is love self. But we have not really had a history that really gave us that platform to love self.
Right.
So we're still healing, and so we do have to be a little bit patient and a little bit more compassionate and empathetic towards our brothers and sisters as well as they need to be towards us as women. So until we get to that place, I think it's just a process to the progress.
Right.
I love it. I love that answer. That sound good? You got something?
Yeah, and don't be so quick to jump into stuff. A lot of times you jump out of something and jump into something before you even heal from the last thing.
Right.
So you can't appreciate the next man if you already still holding on to all of this struggle and strife and everything that you went through with the one you just got finished with. Take time to love yourself. Figure out what's wrong with you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because everything has two people. Every relationship has two people. It's not just him or it's not just her. It's something that you was doing as well. So you have to reevaluate your own self before you get into something new.
That's right.
Awesome.
Can I say one thing?
Oh,
From your
yes.
Point of view, and we got
Oh, yes.
basically, I just wanted to add on. Those are all valid, good points. This is something a little deeper. I mentioned this on my social media too. When it comes to marriage, don't be in a rush to get into a marriage. Just like what you said, like if you're not ready, you're not ready. I'm gonna speak specifically on men. I know a lot of men who they shouldn't do it, but they feel like if they don't get married, they're gonna lose this woman that they love. And so they get pressurized into getting married because the woman's constantly pressuring them. So they get into the marriage and they're not happy and they wonder why it fails. It's just because, you pressured the person. It's okay to court. It's okay to become friends. I know a lot of people feel like you have the black classical movies, Love and Basketball and Brown Sugar and Best Man. Like, those are all ideal, right? Those are all movies, but they actually, I feel like you can actually I know people who are actually best friends before they actually get married. Like, they actually know each other's favorite cereal, favorite color. Those things right now I feel like are, underrated. A lot of people are just so into the physical aspect and just I love this person because they look good and they make me feel good, but they don't actually know the person. They don't actually know what scares them. They don't actually know what makes them happy. They don't know their goals and things like that. So I feel like if you actually get to know a person in depth and don't be in a rush to cohabitate with someone, don't be in a rush to get married with someone, you'll actually be able to tell, okay, this is really the person I want to spend the rest of my life with, and then you can go ahead and take that next step.
That's what's up,
And
Black.
also involve God too, because God is number one, and everything should be based on God.
Yeah.
And we have our next amazing and just happens to be bearded guest, Ronnie Rogers. Welcome to the show.
How y'all doing?
Oh, he came in all slow and bearded. Did you see
I
that?
heard that. I heard how it dropped real quick.
Well, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Name is Ronnie Rogers. I go by Ryu or Total Eclipse or Total Eclipse 7 on Instagram. I am a personal trainer, full-time model and an actor.
Well, you know, I wasn't going to start with the beard, but it's so shiny.
I know.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I really was going to talk about something else.
What you gonna talk about?
All right. So how did you get into personal training?
Personal training. Oh man. Well, I played football my whole life from high school to college. So my ticket out of New Orleans was my athletic ability. So once I got out, I got out. But life after football, I was always working out. I was working out with a couple of guys that was in the Navy, and these jokers was big. They was big, but we was working. But you know, we had a lot of people in the gym just looking at us like, wow, y'all guys are black guys. Y'all really are doing y'all things, you know, are y'all taking anything? We was like, no, we just in here just busting our butts, eating right, and working out. So at the time when I graduated, I didn't know what I really wanted to do. Just like a lot of, grads, when they get out of college, like, I think I'm gonna go to grad school because I'm not sure what I want to do yet. And nothing is wrong with that. But me, I was just like, you know what? I don't know. So the guys was like, hey, you're always in the gym. You know what you're doing. You give us workouts, and they hurt. But we love our results, and not only that, our women love our results. So I want you to become a personal trainer. I was like, that's not a bad idea. So I got started. I moved to Memphis. I stayed there for 1 year. And that's when I got started at, and I ain't turned back.
It's all, like I said with Chef Wallace, it's a beautiful thing to be able to do what you love, and then people happen to pay you for it. So then you're getting to enjoy your life and make money at the same time. Has that been what your experience has been?
No, as far as the money part, I don't worry about the money. I really work with people. My rates are pretty much low. I'm really giving away sessions because I really love what I do. And not only that, I love to motivate the people to keep going. Because working out to me is it's therapeutic. It's definitely a stress reliever. A doctor can tell you that. It's your sanctuary. Whatever you're going through in life, working out helps. Then before you know it, 6 months to a year, you'll be looking at yourself like,
Hey.
I love myself.
What are some of the things that you're passionate about? Some of the dreams you still have that you want to fulfill?
Oh, dreams. Well, I'm living one right now. I got my son in the background, so. I got
It's
my
Chris,
son.
right?
Yeah, that's Chris.
Hey,
That's
Chris.
So I'm living it right now. Definitely want to travel the world more. Reach out to more people. Want to have my own gym eventually, and get in bigger roles as far as acting.
That's awesome.
Good.
You have nothing to say?
I've already been embarrassed today.
Well, since this is, I guess it's turned into Bearded Man Crush Monday. So this whole beard craze, what kind of effects are you feeling from it? Did I say fake? What I said?
Y'all want me to lie? Y'all want me to
Okay, I'm
tell
sorry.
You want to hear? How you get your beard so shiny?
I mean, yes, it is so shiny.
Well, I'm in Atlanta. I live in Houston, but I'm in Atlanta visiting, having a good time.
You know what,
enjoying
Chef
it.
Wallace,
But
you over there giggling, and you took me somewhere else. He took me somewhere. I'm sorry.
I had a real cool homeboy came to me, and he was like, "Hey, try out my product." I done had a lot of guys, with this beard. Try my product out. I'm like, nah, cause I just use simple products. Everybody's skin is different. Mine is just normal rubbing alcohol. Of course, you let it dry, then Jervin shea butter, and that's it. And a lot of people is like, "Wow, that's it." I mean, everybody's skin is different. I let them know that it works for me. But the product I have, I love it. So no lie, it's handmade.
You can shout him out.
Shout about, Corey Davis, man. That's his name, Corey Davis. You can hit him up on Instagram. A phenomenal beard product, y'all. Phenomenal.
You can't tell it?
I forgot the name. I ain't
Forgot
tell you.
that. But Corey.
I forgot the name. But
Corey, tell us what it is.
Corey, I will give you a shout out this week, man. Don't trip.
That's what's up. I mean, you should do some beard tutorials for real.
Oh, wow.
For real.
If the right person get with me, then yes.
And somebody to send it to you.
Yes. His Instagram is
Corey, own it.
Corey. Gotta give you a shout out, bro. Corey Davis. His Instagram is TDC Beard Co. Again, TDC Beard Co.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, but have you had positive? I mean, 'cause we talked to the other guys just about the reactions down with it being such a big beard craze. Have you noticed that you're getting more comments?
Honestly, I've been getting comments without the beard, with the beard.
Oh, you know what?
Man,
You know what?
I've been getting all type of comments with this beard, but not only the beard, just as a person of his
Yeah.
own. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the beard is godly. I look at that. It is godly. It is strong.
Yes.
I feel that strong appearance. You know, I feel like I'm unstoppable with this beard. You know, and not only that, with this person that I have, just being for the people, you know, this beard really works out. So I get all kinds of compliments that y'all probably wouldn't even imagine.
Oh, we.
The parental.
I won't say.
I was saying, like,
I was gonna say some things,
I want,
but I won't.
You want to know?
Even though, and I know my audience is probably really confused as to why there's a parental advisory. You made it big, Jack, on the side of the screen, but we just wanted to be careful in case your kids are in the room today. But Ronald, we do thank you so much for being here. Tell our audience how they can follow you, where they can find you on social media.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Total Eclipse 7. That's where I would be at all times. So hey, be more than welcome to hit me up, y'all, at Total Eclipse 7 Instagram.
Awesome. You're back live on the air with Regina Sunshine and my guest co-host here on the Man Crush Monday episode of Regina Sunshine Show. Hey, we had a good time.
Yeah.
I think we had a really, really good time. And we ate. We did all the food gone. So we did eat. Did everybody eat?
Yes.
Did you get to eat, Vincent? It's so weird calling you that dichotomy.
I'll
You
respond
answered
to
it.
both. Yeah.
All right. Well, for those who don't know, I am, and I already said it, and I'm not ashamed to say, I am a spoken word groupie. I love spoken word performers and events. It's one of the spaces that I find is one of the most freeing spaces you can be in. It's a place of, I won't say abandoned, total transparency. I always say spoken word artists get on stage and they are raw and real in front of you, and it's so much healing that takes place in those spaces. So we are honored to have one of the kings of Atlanta here in the building with us. Welcome to the show, Dichotomy.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you
It's
for
so
having
good
me.
to have you here.
Good to be here.
I think we're
Good to
all
be here.
fans, so
We
we're kind of
are.
like.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'm trying to remember I can't remember the first time I saw you perform, but I did see you at the Jill Scott event.
Yes.
Which to me is still one of the best spoken word events I've ever been to.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sat in the parking lot afterwards. I didn't want to leave. I was just like, oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
it was so
an amazing show, amazing opportunity.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I told Georgia just like a week or so ago, I was like, y'all got to do that again. Because, I mean, to have you guys on stage with the live music and everything, it was such a beautiful thing. So let's go ahead and get into it. How did you get into spoken word?
I mean, I've been writing poetry for a really, really long time. I think I wrote my first poem in the 4th grade. And, usually you start by writing little love poems to girls and that type of thing. It didn't work, but I mean, it was some good practice. And I think I went to my first open mic event in Nashville. It was a little coffee house called Kajiji's. And that was the first time I'd ever been to a spoken word event, and I was like amazed. And like shortly after that, I went and I performed. And after the first performance, I was like, this is really kind of what I want to do, and it's just taken off from there.
Well, it's such a beautiful thing to see you on stage. It's such a beautiful experience. And you're not someone that you go to watch. You're someone you go to experience. Would you guys agree? It's a dichotomy experience when you're on stage. What is it like for you, being the person on stage that was a part of that experience?
Yeah, I mean, the name dichotomy really does describe this whole situation, set of circumstances. I mean, I'm normally like a very shy person, right? Like, so to be on stage and to have, people's attention and to be able to evoke an emotion and a thought and a conversation, right? It's a powerful and it's an amazing thing. And so I take my writing extremely seriously. I take the experience extremely seriously. I was at Apache last night, and Georgia Me said that if you're a poet and you get on stage and she's not moved or the audience isn't moved, then you need to rethink how you choose to convey your art, right? So it's our responsibility not just to convey a thought, but it is to move people. It's to have them experience an emotion. So you don't have to agree with what it is that we say, but if I evoke a thought, if I evoke an emotion, if I start a conversation, then I've accomplished what it is I'm trying to do. So
You do that for sure, ladies.
Yes.
That was like, well, what are some of the other things you're passionate about? I've been noticing lately you've been doing a lot of extreme sports type activities.
Yeah. So I too recently have started to take my health and wellness a lot more seriously. So in addition to working out, my big thing now is like obstacle races. So I love doing the whole obstacle race. So I run like the Spartan and the Battle Frog and all of those. So it's like, 10 miles, 30 obstacles, and you just get out there and do it. So that's my big thing. I'm trying to get on the eating right tip. I don't eat as well as I should, so I'm gonna holler at my man, Chef Willie, when we get done. But yeah, so I'm really passionate about my personal health and wellness and kind of doing that in addition to the poetry. And then I continue to try to give back to the community. I have a mentor of mine, Hank Stewart, and he really kind of taught me the importance of kind of giving back from that perspective. So to whom much is given, much is expected. And so my thing is really trying to take one and give back to the community and kind of help progress us and move us forward. So
That's awesome. Ladies, questions?
I don't have any questions, but I can say I saw you perform at Apache. It was probably back in May. It's like my first time ever going, and it was you and Desmond. Oh my gosh! Like, have you seen them perform together?
I haven't seen them perform since y'all been performing together. I've been seeing the flyers, but I haven't had that experience.
Yeah. So
you need that experience.
Yeah, and Desmond is a very extremely talented artist, vocalist. On my latest CD, we've done a couple of collaborations together. But the thing about Desmond, and again, I'm a refer to Hank again, is when I first started doing poetry, I was kind of doing the open mic thing. Hank Stewart, Georgia Me, Abyss, Tommy Bottoms, Queen Sheba, all those folks saw me and they were like, you know what, we want to help promote you. We want to help you, kind of get better. And so them, along with Hank, have afforded me opportunities to perform with like Jill Scott and Rodney Perry and all these other things. And so, Hank used to always say, you can't be afraid of someone else's talent, right? You have to, if you have an opportunity, you need to let and make other people aware of it. And so the first time I saw Desmond, I didn't want to be like, okay, he's dope. People are going to like the falsetto. They're going to like him more than me. So I'm not going to do anything. Instead, I embraced it. And I told him anytime I have an opportunity to put him on the stage and progress that forward, I'm going to do that. And so that's kind of why we perform separately and together, but it's an amazing thing. I will preface this by saying that, this poem actually was not written by me. It was written by all four of the dudes in the room, before the show was coming together. We all wrote the poem together, and they just said, Dichotomy, say this poem on our behalf. So if there's a line in this poem that any of you ladies do not like, I didn't write that line. One of the other dudes wrote that line. And anytime you're in anytime you do a group project, there's always that one person in the group that wants the teacher to know how much work they did. So, Willie, I will make sure, he was really adamant about making sure that you all knew which line of the poem that he wrote. So, Willie, I will make sure that you get full credit for your line in the poem. And want to make sure you get full credit. And really, the reason why we were having a conversation earlier, and the reason why we decided to write that poem is that, we felt like it was important that dating in Atlanta is hard. And so, from that perspective, we felt like we needed to write a poem and dedicate it to any woman who finds herself in this strong, committed relationship with a single dude. So she's in a committed relationship and her boyfriend is single. And so we decided to write this poem because statistics show that is, happening to somebody right now. And so the Lord told me to put it on my heart to share it with somebody. So I'm gonna let him use me. And here we go. We just gonna go. The question is simple. Why wouldn't you just leave him? Instead of complaining every time he leaves the house and tell you where he's going and you say you don't believe him, why is it when he came home you opened your arms to receive him? And if he told you he didn't want to be in a relationship, why do you do everything you can to please him? Told him he was a stranger in your house. And even though you knew who he was when y'all first started to go out, now when you look into his eyes, you find it hard to realize that he's him Because at this point in your relationship, he doesn't do anything unless it pleases him. And despite his indiscretions, you tell your girlfriends that you would never leave him, and that leads them to say that you're taking your sense of self-pride and committing suicide, or what me and Willie like to call relationship treason, because love is war, and nobody's ever been able to play both sides. So I wonder why you wouldn't just leave him. I mean, it's not like you don't have a good reason. Your mother always told you, if a man was something bad enough, he would do whatever he can to get it. So if his actions aren't in line with those words, I don't know why you won't just say forget it, but you see a woman can hear the exact same thing and process it completely different. Because a woman, when she wants something bad enough, she can take something that isn't and convince herself that it is it. Take a square peg, push it into a round hole, and convince those around her that it fitted, but are you all really to blame? Because if these lames put you in that situation again and again, you have no choice but to think that we are all the same, more concerned with the way your hips turn than trying to learn your name. And it's a shame that now you figure you have to get with any dog and hope he's tame. Otherwise, you will end up leading this world much the same way you came, alone. And I wish that I could tell you that you're wrong, but you probably have a couple of female friends who have already suffered that same fate, and that leads you to believe to get with the dog with the least amount of fleas before it's too late. But I'm telling you, if you do that, you're only setting yourself up for more complaints, because deep down inside, you know he doesn't make a good mate because he can't relate to the difference between love and affection. Sweet rubs and caressing, a hard-on and an erection, and I know you claim to love him, so you want to try to teach him those lessons. But he says he has no interest in trying to learn, because in turn, doing so make him feel less than a man, completely dismissing the fact that if he did so, it'd make you feel more like his woman. I mean, simple things like opening your door before you go in, so then you start to rationalize, well, girl, that's just the way he is. That's how he was when I met him. So anything he wants to do, she lets him. Goes to her girlfriends, complains about how much she detests him, but won't leave him, allowing something to occupy your lifetime, and it was only meant for a season. See, when you're holding on to something that doesn't want to be held, when the man that comes along for you that's meant to be, your hands are full, and you won't be able to seize him, but believe when I tell you that there are other women out there that seize him. So if y'all are going to miss out on something that was meant to be, then holding on to something that never was shouldn't be the reason. You see, there's a reason that a standard is called a standard. It's because it was never meant to be lowered. And that's like taking 3 steps back and 1 step up and somehow convincing yourself that you're still moving forward. And I'm just a force, I'm not trying to be too forward. No, wait a minute. Yes, I am. Because sometimes you have to raise your voice when the volume of choice is the silence of the lambs. Willie, you ready? Come your line. You good? You ready? Okay. Ladies, how do you expect a man to show you that he cares? Well, if we pay attention how some of you walk, talk, and dress, it seems like y'all don't give a damn. You see, if you want a man to come at you with a different approach, you have to show him that if he does so, it will garner a different result. Because if a man that is truly trying to get to know you gets the same no move as a dude that's only trying to hit, then at the end of the day, who is really to blame if that is all you end up with? And please don't blame it how quickly we might be trying to get you all to be intimate, because we know that every woman has a sense of self-respect, and you want to make us wait, and that's okay. For the half of me and the other 3 gentlemen in here, let me state that if you all are doing anything differently after your first 3 months than you were doing after your first 3 dates, it's going to take you a whole lot more than 90 days and some good loving to make a man stay. You see, it just doesn't work that way. Let me let you all in on a little secret. You see, the same 5 minutes that you all use to decide whether or not you'll let that man lay you down, he's using those same 5 minutes to decide once he finally does if he's even going to stay around. So I shouldn't ask you why you won't leave him. You should start asking yourself, why am I staying? How do you expect to find the man that was meant for you if your actions aren't in line with what you're praying? And I'm just saying, I didn't write this ruined idea of a good relationship. I'm just losing patience with those who say that there are no good men when it's them that are on the complacent tip. Instead of stopping and trying to figure out what might be wrong with you, but you are quick to say that there are no good men by Steve Harvey's book and let him tell you what to do. I mean, it's true. So let me save you all $19.95 and break it down for you. If you don't understand your value, then we will never value your wealth. If you're not saying anything of any substance, you are just wasting your breath. It's okay to follow somebody else's path, but please take your own steps. And I know in this world you can't do it alone, and sometimes you might need help. So it's okay to act like a lady, but baby, just make sure you're thinking for yourself. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. I need a minute. Jack, put that question back on the screen. Candy, can you read it? We had a question for
Okay,
you.
all right, that's fine.
Okay, how you
All right,
gonna lose
somebody
the quiz?
takes in a question for you.
Yeah, because it was something about balancing.
There it is.
Yeah, how do you balance your dating life considering everything that you have going on? And what do you look for in a potential mate? And what qualities are a must?
Oh, somebody's fishing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think
That's your next baby mama.
They trying to do all that. All right, so in the interest of time, I'm gonna try to answer them all fairly quickly. So as far as the balancing of the dating life, it is a very difficult thing to do. One, not only because of the poetry aspect of it, so I'm either traveling out of town to perform or different events in the city, but my job has me traveling, as well. So it is a very kind of difficult thing to balance from that perspective, and that kind of lends itself to the next question: what are some of the qualities I look for? Understanding has to be a big one, right? It is, there are times where I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone for long periods of time. There may be times where I'm at a show and there may be fans, supporters, that may be there, right? That may be there from that perspective. And so, yeah, it's a very difficult thing to do. It does, kind of take a lot, but the understanding aspect of it and the support aspect of it is something that is extremely, kind of important, to me. And I feel like not just with me, but with any dude, right? It is important to ensure that he makes whoever his significant other is feel like a priority or feel important. And if that's the case, then it doesn't matter that there are 40 other people there or all these other things that are kind of going on from that perspective. And that's the perspective that I try to take on it.
Our time is up. Real quick, we're going to go around the room. Everybody remind our audience how they can find you on social media and if you got anything upcoming. And we'll start with Dichotomy.
Yeah, so you can find me on social media. Everything is at Dichotomy Poetry. I know it's a lot of syllables, but DICHOTOMY. Poetry. So that's Instagram, Snapchat, all those things. I'm the host every third Sunday at Apache Cafe for the Word is Born open mic. So if you want to see me or you want to come and perform, you can come do that every third Sunday at Apache. And the next super big thing I got coming up is going to be my birthday. I do a big oral fixation show for my birthday at 595. So follow me on social media. You can find out all that stuff. And thank you, Regina, so much for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Thank you.
When's your birthday, real quick?
February 29th.
Okay.
Yeah, once every 4 years. Yeah, once every 4 years. Now we good. On to the next one. There we go. Hey, remind them of where they can find some amazing vegan options.
All right.
No, we good. Go ahead.
You can find me on Instagram, Chef Willie Wallace. I'm on Facebook as well, same thing. You email me at chefwilliewallace@gmail.com.
These dudes are silly, like for real.
So you can
All right. Well, ladies, I thank you guys so
my
much for
gosh.
coming to guest co-host today. Did you have a good time?
I had a great
You had a great
time.
time. Well, to my audience, I leave you with the words I always leave you with. Remember this: God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life. Make sure you guys tune in next week. Next week is our once a month Living Like a Boss Men show. It's me plus 5 male co-hosts talking about all things related to men. We normally end up with about 10 to 15 guys here on a Boss Monday, Jack. And so I tell the women what I always tell them: if you want to come here on a Boss Monday, bring food and feed the men. Don't just show up here looking for eligible single men. I tell them that because they'll call, "Can I come?" Sure, if you feed them. If you're gonna come next week, make sure you bring a dish when you come through the door. All right. I leave you guys with my personal motto. I always say it's not over till I win. If I hadn't won yet, that just means it's not over. So I tell you today, it's not over till you win. If you hadn't won yet, baby, that just means it's not over. Be blessed and keep winning. We're out. God loves you just the way you are. You are beautiful because you were created in love. You were fearfully and wonderfully made. You have the seeds of greatness within you. You were born to live a victorious life. You are brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous. You are worthy of the best things in life.